Bloody hell, it's the Cannock Chase marathon. Oh, I can hear cars around me, pulling in, going out. It's kind of the same story all night. But good morning, and welcome to, you couldn't really see when I showed you, but we're in some random car park in Cannock Chase. It was a bit eventful last night. We tried to stop at at one spot that had quite a bit of news and notoriety, should we say, with the old people of the night, the pineapple people. That's what we're going to call them. That's what we're going to call them. Instead of using the word doggy, we're going to call them the pineapple people from now on. There was a steady stream of cars pulling in and pulling out last night, but they didn't bother us. Although we had our pineapples on the vans for the majority of the night. He's still got his curtains up. Good thing is he's still here. If no one's watched some recent videos, Matty left me at 4 o'clock in the morning in the Wye Valley. But no, Adam's still here. Don't know if I should keep that there for the morning. I might attract the wrong crowd. We've got cars. We've got runners. And we've got an Adam.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, mate. How did you sleep?
Like a log.
Yeah, yeah. Did you also hear the steady stream of cars throughout the night?
I heard the steady stream of bump, 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 bump.
Yeah, there was definitely a bit of that going on.
Yeah, some banging going on.
So this is Cannock Chase. It's Cannock Chase, I know that for a fact, but this car park just outside the White House, what's that say?
Ministry centre.
Ministry Centre. What is a ministry centre?
Not frog use.
It's got to be something religious,
like
hasn't it?
people's on there.
Yeah. So yeah, the car park opposite the White House Ministry Centre. A few people mulling around. Potential car camper over there. Yeah, this car park was a bit of a hive of activity last night, but we daren't pop our heads. To be fair, we were both knackered. Adam worked a full day. I was camping with Adam and Bruce and Janine and Harry and Lauren the night before. So I wasn't really feeling, you never really sleep right in the van. But I fancied a good night's sleep tonight, and thankfully I did. It's one thing I do hate to see though, is all this kind of stuff. I mean, admittedly, this isn't a particularly beautiful place to be. It's just a car park, it's a bit of tarmac with some puddles of water. If you're going to see it anywhere, you'd rather see it in a pretty dingy place like this, but you shouldn't really see it at all, really. That's someone's you-know-what rag. I'll leave a what 3 words down here, and if you guys want to come here, then you can. Relatively quiet. I mean, like I say, get a few people on the weekend, but we weren't disturbed, did we?
No.
We weren't disturbed, no. It was nice and quiet. Didn't see any coppers, didn't hear any,
Nothing,
you know,
nothing like that.
just a few cars pulling in and out. And a few people pulling in and out. Right, I don't want to get my one hand dirty, you see. That's not gone too bad. That's all right, that. I'm happy with that. See, look at this, guys. This is a proper collaborative effort, this is. I'm on cooking duties. Adam's there. He's got his washing up bowl sorted. He's going to do a bit of washing up. This is what camp's all about, isn't it? Working together, community. It is, mate. Bit of basil. And we'll break these up. Okay, it might not look like much at the moment, but that is the making of a cheese omelette. This is going to be a quick job, I think. I'm just keeping it on the tilt at the moment, just to make sure one of us hasn't got a very ultra thin side. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Is it flip time? I think it might be flip time, you know. Here we go, okay. I mean, that's skill, isn't it? That's years of practice.
Yeah, anybody think you've put an original before?
Right, let's see if it's stuck. Oh, look at that. My goodness. I'll get it plated up and then I'll cut it in half.
Plate for me.
Nice one. I couldn't ask you for a favour, could I?
What do you want?
There we go. Could you just hold on to that a minute? That's it, mate. You're right.
Yeah. Held that a bit too high.
Oh, that does look good. There you are, buddy.
Oh, I love you.
Not the biggest portion in the world, but
Do you know what?
at least it's a bit of brekkie in the belly, innit? Ooh.
Honestly,
Whoa! That was nearly a disaster. Right, we're going to finish eating this, and then I think we'll think about moving on. You've got to go back and sort the family out, aren't you? And then I'm going to be going off to near Shugborough Hall. I'm not going to be going in there today because I filmed a video not that long ago for you guys, but I'll show you a little tour of Shugborough, and then we'll finish off today at a nice little spot somewhere. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be yet. I'll look at the map. That's the beauty of things, isn't it? Look at the map. Where do you want to go? I've got my bed, I've got my living room, all in the back on wheels. So we'll finish this, and I'll see you in a bit. And just before we take a tour of Shugborough, I wanted to share some info with you about how I keep safe using the internet. Just have a think right now. How are you watching this video? There's only one way you're watching it, and that's by using the internet. And if you don't already use a VPN for your internet usage, now is the right time to consider Surfshark. I've been using Surfshark now for multiple years, probably about 2 or 3 years before I even started YouTube, to make sure my browsing and personal data is kept safe while online. The reason why I went for Surfshark is because of their unlimited devices policy. Most of the VPN providers have a cap on how many devices you can connect to one account. That's not the case with Surfshark. Me being a content creator means I have a lot of electronic devices that connect to the internet. I've got my phone, I've got my laptop, I've got another computer in the house. My family also have a plethora of devices that we can connect to just the one account and pay one subscription fee. And another reason why we like it, which is a little bit naughty, is that we can watch all of our favorite Netflix and Amazon Prime region locked content by simply changing our IP address to anywhere in the world. Now, coincidentally, I was first introduced to Surfshark by watching other content creators share incredible deals, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today. Surfshark are currently holding their annual Black Friday sale, and in the link in the description below, while using my code BrendanExplores, you can get up to 6 additional months free with your first subscription. Big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Now off to Shugborough Hall for that tour. And where am I today? Welcome to another adventure, ladies and gents. And you join me at another National Trust site called Shugborough Hall, hidden in the heart of Staffordshire's countryside. I'm going to be showing you the beautiful views around the grounds, sharing with you some interesting facts about the history of Shugborough Hall, and make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to hopefully try and find a place called the Shepherd's Monument. It's a place shrouded in mystery, linked to the Holy Grail and potential secret societies, so stick around for that. But join me as we explore Shugborough Hall's beautiful views and its history in today's video. Now, this building in front of me, just off to my left, is called the Tower of the Winds, inspired by the original Greek version in Athens, I believe. The proprietors of this property, hundreds of years ago, the Anson family, probably got their inspiration from George Anson, one of the two brothers, George and Thomas. George travelled the world, all over the world in fact, while Thomas maintained the grounds and looked after the estate, and he got much of his inspiration from his travels. I can only assume that he's come across the original Tower of the Winds in Greece, in Athens, and brought home some of the inspiration to build this version of the Tower of the Winds. Oh, lovely. Lovely countryside view there. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for putting that in my video, Mr. Cow. Anyway, on to the mansion we go. Just look at that incredible building.
Isn't that breathtaking with the sun? And it was towards the latter end of the 17th century that this building wasn't here. It was actually a moated mansion all those years ago. And then when the Anson family took over the occupation in the 17th century, it was then demolished to build Shugborough Hall out of the remains. Anyone fancy coming around for my dinner? I think I'd house you all here, I think. I can imagine they're all original paintings as well. I think one of the things that stuns me the most about these old properties that I've visited so far is the ceiling. The ceiling's quite often the most decorative part of the house. Feels somewhat like royalty walking around here. Very imposing. A bit different to my two-bed terraced living room. Oh wow, imagine looking out on that in the morning. Beautiful gardens. That's got to be our next explore. Going to walk these absolutely fantastically maintained gardens. You can see there some of the National Trust employees maintaining and watering the grass. Now looking through those beautiful front windows has got me intrigued to go and have a little walk around this garden. One hell of a view. Now I can't remember if I've mentioned in previous videos that I pay a tenner a month to be a member of the National Trust with me and my wife. My son goes free as he's under 5. But a well-worthy £10 to come and explore some of the most beautiful places in the UK. I mean, just look at the back of that house there. Absolutely stunning. I think my dad pays £6 a month, I think, for his individual membership, because he's over 60. He probably won't want me mentioning it in this video, but that's how much he pays. A well-worthy £6 if you buy it yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but that is the first time I've seen a frog crossing sign. And I'm looking on the floor as I'm trying to vlog, looking for little froggies, making sure I'm not stepping on any. Oh, hang on. We've got a little house in the distance. Ah! So just off the grounds here and off the gardens of the main mansion, I can see what I believe to be the Chinese house. I'll just show you ahead of me. Now, it is believed that George Anson's travels took him to China, and he was inspired so much he decided to bring some of that inspiration back and commission the building of this Chinese house. Now I believe that this Chinese house is well over 200 or 300 years old. Let's read a bit of information about it. Completed in 1747, this is one of the earliest buildings of Chinese influence in the country. Wow. The design was taken from on-the-spot sketches by Sir Percy Brett, one of Admiral Anson's officers on the Centurion during its circumnavigation. I thought I was going to say something else then. So yes, George Anson, I think he was a naval captain, I believe, who led the British Navy around the world. And as promised, I said I'd show you it before the end of the video, the Shepherd's Monument. This is the one piece on the whole of Shugborough's estate that is veiled in mystery. An 18th century monument that code breakers all over the world, including from Bletchley Park, the people that cracked the Enigma code in World War II in England, still cannot decipher that code there. OUOSVABV DM. No, I have no idea what it means either. But Charles Darwin, Charles Dickens, all of those people have supposedly tried to crack this code. I believe the person that created the monument was a guy called Nicholas Poussin, or Poussin, or Poussin. someone leave a comment below with some more accurate information. You guys always know I'm very accurate with the facts. But yeah, this is quite an imposing piece of architecture. And it's said that Nicholas Poussin, the person who created this monument, was a member of the Priory of Sion, an old ancient secret society. So if you're into all that conspiracy theory stuff, secret societies, this is one for you.
And back we are in the 21st century, where I might have found a potential future camp spot.
Blithfield Reservoir. I saw a big piece of water on the map and I thought, yeah, we need to come here and get a nice viewpoint. As I film in this video, middle of October, we've got bright clear sunshine. If it wasn't for the shrubbery and seeing all the leaves falling off the trees, we could be in the height of summer right now. Anyone been here? Blithfield? Billfield? Something like that? Reservoir? Need to get my hat, it's that hot. What a lovely view. Right in the heart of the West Midlands, eh? Would you believe it? Blithfield, Billfield or something. We've got a nice little vintage VW camper there in the distance. 60 years old, but still worth 60k. Where are you chesting? There's probably a few VW van owners out there. But now I thought this would be a nice little spot to end today's somewhat short video, I guess. I'm going to leave you guys here. Thank you ever so much for watching today's video. We cooked up a nice breakfast with Adam this morning. I've also shown you Shugborough Hall. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did when I walked around it. I do love a bit of national, trust me. And I think I might come back here at one point and do a little camp here overnight on the way to some distant location. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.